mid lane and Hans in the jungle position. Hans has been promoted from the MDL to the MPL, and unfortunately for Baby U, he has been demoted to the MDL. And obviously we also still have Adam in the XP lane. And for EVOS Legends here, we have Clover, Fairsick, Juan, Rex, and Anti-Mage. So Juan is still playing. I've heard rumors that he won't be playing today, but it looks like he will here, Arashi.
Right, and we've seen how much impact he can actually bring to a game. One on his signature mages, he can play from far away, he can play in for burst in those dive situations. So very flexible player here. It would be a very serious loss to EVOS if this man isn't here today. But fortunately for us and all the fans at home, he is Eternal.
Yes, and definitely looking very strong here. Coming from the side of EVOS Legends, we also have Fairsick and Clover and our boy Anti-Mage. And as we know, Anti-Mage is one of the best EXP laners, especially since I don't know how many seasons ago, but this is someone
in terms of coordination, but it can also be something that maybe is unpredictable for an enemy team, right? They won't know what Hans is gonna bring. But since I do watch the MDL, Hans, again, it is a double-edged sword. I still don't know whether he's going to fit in with the other members of this team because he is such a unique player. He is one of the jungler players that likes to play fighters instead of assassins, instead of marksmen. I saw him play the Export, I saw him play the Sun in the jungle, and that is his comfort. Usually from every other team in the MDL, they ban away the Sun instantly. So we'll just have to see right here, will that be the case as well for the side of EVOS Legends? For GEEK Fam, already just banning away Fairsick's heroes. Ling and Hayabusa has been banned away. EVOS Legends with the Matilda and probably also the Popo and Koopa or the Jawhead ban that will come forth here in their first banning phase, Eterna.
Yes, you're definitely right. And speaking of Hans, it seems like with this meta, with this such a high pressure, high impact meta right now that we're situated in, maybe, just maybe, Hans is the perfect jungler here for the side of GEEK Fam. Maybe because he is comfortable with heroes that can be placed in the jungler position, just like Export, just like Sun. Maybe that is the impact that is needed from GEEK Fam for this season. But of course, here we go into the draft pick presented to you by Nemo TV, our official live streaming platform, as Jawhead will be the second ban coming from EVOS Legends. But guys, there are still so many, like I said before, a lot of prio picks that are still open. We still have an Export, maybe leaning towards getting banned. We still have Harley as well, so still really on the table. But Arashi, any thoughts?
I think it's interesting that GEEK Fam is banning most of the assassins, and especially with the Ruby coming in, it seems to me that they're actually trying to go for something dive heavy in a sense. We did mention how Hans plays a lot of fighters. The fighters are notorious for coming online a lot faster than other heroes. Obviously not in the early game in a sense, but towards the mid game is usually where they peak out. So if this is part of GEEK Fam's strategy to try and maybe go for a tempo gameplay and deny the impact that an assassin from Fairsick can bring into this game by playing a fighter in the jungle, this is looking pretty okay so far. But we'll have to see what EVOS will end up banning. You did mention that the Soon is notorious and it might get banned out, but I think EVOS might think that they are strong enough to do without that. Yeah. So Harley ban coming in, respecting the early game pressure. We did see GEEK Fam play around a Harley pretty okay, even though against some top level opposition, they haven't been as successful, I must say, Mirko.
Agreed. And GEEK Fam right here with the Paquito open, they might just pick it away for their team right here. We'll just have to see. GEEK Fam, with this Paquito open, will they choose to pick it up? Because if they let it go to the hands of Anti-Mage, we've seen what this man can do with this Paquito pick. So I think it's a no-brainer. GEEK Fam will secure that first pick and take it away from Anti-Mage's hands. But now it is time for EVOS Legends to counter this. What will they give their players here in EVOS Legends? Because everything, there's a lot of things still open. Popo and Koopa, which is a very good pick as well, and a very famous pick as well for the side of EVOS Legends. They really like to play this Popo and Koopa for Wrecked, so it might just be picked up right here, or maybe they might pick up the Farsa for Juan, because that is one of his comfort heroes for EVOS Legends right here, Eterna.
Yes, you're completely right here. But of course, the export is also still open, Mirko. So we will have to see. Will they choose towards their priority picks in a sense, like they want to choose heroes that are comfortable, or are they going to take away that possibility from Geek Fam? But it will be that Popol, Koopa, and that Nathan pick, Mirko.
Nathan pick is, definitely an option here, and it's going to be picked up instantly for the side of EVOS Legends. You know, Fairsick, one of his comfort heroes is Claude back in Season 7, so kind of the same, very similar playstyles, right? You farm up, you get your items, and you start popping off, and this will be the pick for EVOS Legends, but I'm just not sure whether it is a good pick as, you know, one of the first picks, because Nathan, again, as a marksman, it is very easily countered. Geek Fam can instantly just go for the Saber or the Kaja, and Nathan might just be absolutely dumpstered here in the game. They might even go for something like the maybe Kagura, but they will pick up the export to go to the backside. Again, this is the backline destroyers. Paquito and export picked up, and they will pick the Kagura. You see, this is what I said. The burst damage coming in. This game is going to be absolutely hard. This is going to be super hard for the Nathan to survive. We have to see some sort of peel from the side of EVOS, because if not, the same thing will happen in that. The same thing will happen in the Bigatron Alpha game when they pick Nathan. Brands will not be able to survive. Same thing here. Fairship will not be able to survive. No mobility on this hero Eterna.
Yes, you're completely right. So we're just going to have to see what EVOS Legends will have in their next few picks, because looking at the composition at the moment, Geek Fam is looking quite strong. I particularly like this Kagura pick because although her high ground range isn't as far as Farsa, her burst and her mobility and her independence in the middle lane is something to look out for. But here EVOS Legends closes their first phase pick with an Esmeralda pick as we're entering the second phase, and EVOS Legends will be banning first. Do you think they will be respect banning, or is there something that they need to look out for with the current composition that they have chosen, Arashi?
I think they might just try and ban out more follow-up, just because, as we can see, Miko already mentioned it, but Bigatron is a team that's very comfortable playing against dive comms, playing safe, bring it to the late game, and if even they are unable to keep a Nathan alive, I think EVOS, you know, who are usually more well known of playing really aggressive, they might struggle even more. So I think they might try and bend to try and curb a bit of that aggression coming in from Geek Fam. They are not as flexible as Aura, because again we mentioned Godiva, actually quite a few unique picks as well as the signature pick on the Kadita. So there's less to worry about in that sense. But here they do ban out that Farsa, and in the previous game, the Farsa ends up being a huge deciding factor in that the third game in the first match between Bigatron and in the Bigatron game. So I think that's a smart move by EVOS, Mirko.
Smart move indeed right here, but Esmeralda will be the pick for Anti-Mage, and Farsa ban coming in from EVOS Legends. Not too sure why they banned Farsa. Kagura has been picked up by the side of Geek Fam. Maybe they're trying to just ban it away so that this Kagura will be secured into this mid lane, you know, because Kagura is a flex pick again. It can go to the other side, it can go to the gold lane. So again, very good bans here. Geek Fam banning away this Harith, something that has been one of the main damage, main heroes here for EVOS Legends, right? Clover loves to play this Harith, and we've seen a lot of big plays from him, a lot of game-winning plays from him, but the 1-1 is still open. Like as I said, you know, this guy has had the best plays with 1-1 during MPL Season 7, so they might just look for this 1-1 pick again. Definitely not a meta pick, I would say, as in the gold lane. Definitely would prefer Lunox or even Alice in this position rather than 1-1, but if they want to play for the late game, that is certainly an option for them to pick up. But for now, it will be the Kaja ban for the side of EVOS Legends, and now Geek Fam with their final ban. Will they ban away the gold laner or the mage right now? Because those are the two heroes, two roles that are still open for the side of EVOS Legends Eterna.
Yes, I mean, the Alice is also still open, so that could be a choice for them because we're not really sure who will be playing this Esmeralda. But also, there are so many other frontliners that are also open. We still have a Bauman that's open that was used by Anti-Mage in the past, but we're gonna have to see. I mean, Thamos is also open, but it will be that Kufra ban coming from Geek Fam.
Yeah, Kufra ban coming from Geek Fam, just basically denying some of these, denying the Benedetta, I think, right? They do want to pick up the Benedetta, I think, for the side of Geek Fam. They can use this X-Work as a jungler, and that is, again, one of the comfort picks for Hans. So if they do pick up the Benedetta for the gold lane, it might be very, very good for them, considering that they can get pressure on that gold lane, especially against a weak laner like Esmeralda. But we'll have to see EVOS Legends with their first pick here in the second drafting phase. What will they pick up? Will it be the Mage first, or perhaps the XP laner here, as I'm pretty sure Esmeralda will go to the gold lane. If they do pick a Mage up, I really am... Lunox is still open, is still an option right here if they do want to be... Oh, but Uranus! The first time Uranus has been picked in Season 8 right here. This hero, I should say, has dropped in value a lot since Season 7. It was one of the most picked heroes back in Season 7, but since then, since they reworked anti-regen items, this hero has fallen out of the meta. So I'm very curious to see how Anti-Mage uses this Uranus, because we saw him play this Uranus back in NMA to a great extent, to very, very high levels. So he's trying to recapture what he did in NMA in this game. Geek Fam with their final 2 picks. Arashi, what do you think it's going to be?
I think they're gonna need to go for some more reliable engage. As we mentioned, having a lack of engage could be a very difficult situation because Xborg and Akito, in a sense, is easily guided. No. But whoa, what?
Yeah,
Alright, so it is.
Yeah,
it is the
based
Claude,
on the Claude.
and it is.
Arashi, sorry, just keep going. Yeah. What's your now? Yeah, keep going, boy.
Yeah, I'm just. Yeah, but like with Claude and Lunox, they have a very good like dive income. But again, the question is whether or not EVOS is gonna allow them to go all the way back. And if you contrast this to the game between Aura and Bigatron, there's not much of a hard engage coming in, because earlier they do have the Yutong with the Black Dragon form, as well as the Kadita, but that option isn't available for Geek Fam right now. So EVOS, especially if they pick up some kind of slow or crowd control utility here, might be very hard for Geek Fam to actually do anything, especially once they get into that late game miracle.
Absolutely, but Claude, 0% win rate here in Season 8. EVOS Legends with the final pick should be the Benedetta right here, picked up for the side. Wait a minute, where is this going? Clover on the Nathan and Fairsick on the Benedetta. No, what? Okay, Clover on the... Is Nathan mid? Is Nathan what? Is the marksman in the mid lane? One is picking that up as the mid laner here. True. Okay, based on the draft, based on the bans, Farsa was banned, Kagura was picked away, and Lunox was picked up from the side of Geek Fam. So technically, they were left with no more options. But Nathan in mid lane, something that I really dislike here, because it is just so hard to clear waves. You are not mobile, so you can't really roam a lot with your tank, and especially with the burst damage of Kagura, I don't think he's going to be able to do a lot in lane as well. So not even kill pressure for him. It's going to be very hard, but if they do take it to late game, I think they will have a chance. But let's get straight into game number 1 of match number 2 here in MPL Season 8, Week 2, Day 2. Will it be EVOS Legends taking the first game of the day and securing the first momentum play for themselves? Or will it be Geek Fam taking it on and proving all the predictions wrong here in the first game of the day? I want to know your predictions, guys, based on the draft. For let's start with you, Arashi.
I think I would go with EVOS, just because, as I mentioned, I think they have good lead game, and I think Geek lacks that synergy, that decisive playmaking, hero. So I think that's it. How about you, Turner?
I have to agree with you there, Arashi. I think the pressure in the middle lane, although is lacking from Nathan, will be supplied here by Fairsick. As look how aggressive he is playing right now.
Wow.
And oh my god, he just gets bursted down though here by Frizz. This is, oh my god, that flame shot connects, and first blood will go to Adam.
Not just the first blood, maybe the second blood too, as it's gonna be Rekt taken down. EVOS Legends playing super aggressively, but not without the help of Anti-Mage. That was very I guess it's miscommunication right there, because they went at different times. Benedetta went in and he didn't have any backup whatsoever. I guess this is the problem with the Nathan in the mid lane. He's just not able to roam into those, into the deep side of the jungle. If they were able to pick up the Kagura in the first place, they would have been able to do all that. But actually, in terms of wave clear, look at that. One is actually winning in terms of wave clear against Frieza and actually out trading him as well. This is very, very unique right here. I didn't expect Nathan to be able to outtrade a Kagura, especially being a marksman versus a mage. Usually we just see the mage dominating, but I guess in this game we'll see something different from Juan, a guy who is notorious to be like basically one of the best mechanical players in the world. So we'll just have to see how this goes, Eterna.
Yes, you're completely right here as Anti-Mage is trying to clear and cut some lanes, but of course there is last insanity here coming from Adam, and oh my god, that damage coming in from here. But of course, Anti-Mage being Uranus has really great high regen, and that is something that I wanted to talk about earlier. Talking about the compositions coming from EVOS Legends, I'm doubting that if this goes... Oh my god, there's no time for analysis! That was crazy! Rek just gets obliterated off the map with the burst damage again coming from the side of GEEK.
And end the game because the meta is very favorable towards these early game team comps.
Absolutely. As we take a look at the snack video head-to-head, it is Juan losing out in the statistic game right here against Frieza with an average KDA of 5.6 and a higher kill participation right here. But Juan does have a winning stat here. He has gotten this lead in the gold per minute, so maybe he is more efficient in getting to the late game, getting his items built, but he's just not around for a lot of these team fights, especially maybe I want to say this. Juan doesn't care about the KDA, you know? He doesn't care how many times he dies as long as the team wins. So even with the 2.8 KDA, he has been incredibly impactful in all of the games that he's been playing here, Eterna.
Yes, you're completely right, but we will look into the EXP lane here, presented to you by Snack Video. In our head-to-head, we have Adam on one side and Anti-Mage on the other. In terms of kill participation, Anti-Mage is kind of low in stats compared to Adam, but we've seen Anti-Mage do a lot of plays, and he comes in quite last minute, but he does make great impact. But Arashi, what are your thoughts?
Well, we heard this before about how Anti-Mage recently, EVOS usually plays for team fights, and so they always find a way for Anti-Mage to get pressure and then rotate towards these huge team fights and be that deciding factor. But recently, we have seen more and more that Anti-Mage is more, I guess he's more reluctant to do so, and he's perfectly comfortable actually pushing onto one side and being more of a distraction, and instead of pulling people away from the aforementioned huge team fights. And as we know, Anti-Mage can easily go against multiple people on his own, provided he actually does okay in the lane. So that's a big change in playstyle that people have been talking about, and I think that the stats actually reflect that pretty well, Mirko.
Absolutely, but we're gonna get straight into the game right here, Arashi. It is still a 200 gold lead for the side of Geek Fam as Ren V on this Paquito in the tank role has been dealing a lot of damage and has been putting on a lot of pressure for the side of EVOS Legends. It's Fersic looking to go and counter jungle once again. We'll be able to get that retribution and stealing it away from Hans. This is why I really dislike the Claude pick, because it is super weak, especially against a Benedetta jungler right here. He can just keep on invading like this, and there's nothing this Claude can really do. Ren V on this Paquito though is a different story. The amount of pressure he's asserting in the map is just crazy, but we'll just have to see how this keeps on going, because right now EVOS Legends are scaling really well. Juan has an XP lead over wait a minute, Hans goes in with Blaze in the Wind, and that's gonna be zoning right there. Once again, Hans is zoned away from the jungle creeps. The gold buff will be secured by Fersic, and he will have some trouble scaling into this mid game because Fersic is just taking everything from his jungle right here, Eterna.
Yes, you're completely right. It really is going to be difficult for Hans to do much of anything, because look, he just keeps going and trying to zone Hans out of his own jungle, and there's so much backup here. Oh, Zarmoon towards Hans, and Hans has to go down, and this is something that we've mentioned over and over. Claude pick right now, not great, especially in this season, Mirko.
Not great at all. Still sitting at a 0% win rate. I think not great is an understatement. It is horrible right now. 0% win rate on every single team. Not just for Geek Fan, not just for like the bottom teams, but for every team who's taken this Claude, they have lost. We saw RRQ try it themselves and they didn't get it. Now Adam goes in for the last insanity onto Koopa. Poor dog right there. He just gets bursted down, and Anti-Mage now trying to buy some time, trying to deal a lot of damage, trying to buy. Wait a minute, Anti-Mage using that consecration to survive, but it is a lot of time burns from the side of Geek Fam, and EVOS will be able to pick up that turtle in the process. Now Fairsick trying to go for the invade once again as Renvi goes in to open up the map, goes in with a jab and she's trying to deal a lot of damage right now, but the final blow comes into the backside. Renvi's gonna be the target, but he's gonna have to use that flicker to get away as Claude will be able to secure that purple buff. It will be a kill on the bottom side as Juan and Clover have been able to get that kill, but look at the top side. Hans gets a kill onto Fairsick. This guy has been playing very, very aggressively and he is instantly punished, and Anti-Mage doing the same thing here. Frieza is in the bush. This might be a disastrous play right here. Getting overturned and the last insanity has been popped. Anti-Mage is gonna be killed just like that. Adam picks it up and it's a 5-2 lead, but EVOS Legends somehow still have the 1,000 gold lead in the 5th minute right here, Arashi.
Yep, we've seen them having impeccable wave management, and as if you notice, Anti-Mage has always been constantly pushing those lanes, going into the back of the turrets of GEEK Fam and actually cutting these waves before they're even there. And he has impact in this game, not only his own lane, but all the way to the mid lane. If you look at the items here, he has an Oracle secured already, so huge amounts of regen, and no coming in from the side of GEEK Fam thus. So if they go for a big fight here and Anti-Mage is able to just stay in the front, GEEK Fam is going to have a huge amount of trouble trying to do that, and they're pushing the advantage here, playing for the bottom tower, Mirko.
Oh no, final blow to the backside. What's going to be the target, but look at Red V trying to zone them away, and it actually works right here. Bills of the Order has been popped as Anti-Mage has rotated here. Clover has zoned Hans away, and it will be GEEK Fam surviving this dive right now. Both teams are just looking for pressure on the bottom side, not even looking to trade. GEEK Fam has committed their forces to this bottom side, Eterna.
Yes, it seems like they're trying their best to shut down this Frieza. Oh, as Fairsick gets super aggressive here on towards Freeze, and I don't think he'll be able to escape. But oh no, Anti-Mage doesn't want it. He won't hear it. He keeps going. Oh, but it is instantly countered by Renvi and Dylan. But of course, there is Rex and Fairsick still in the bush, trying to apply too much pressure here. But oh my god, on the top side, Juan is there in the right time, at the right place, and will take him down, Mirko.
Absolutely, Juan just bursts away Frieza right there, and he's gonna get the turret. That's gonna be a trade in 1-for-1. The top side turret traded for the bottom side turret, but EVOS Legends gets the pressure once again on this turtle, and Adam will surely just reset it and buy. He's just gonna buy a lot of time, some time for the side of GEEK Fam. Right now, Hans in the top side dealing some damage onto Anti-Mage. That's a lot of damage coming in. Raises win. It's gonna be a solo kill, perhaps. Anti-Mage trying to run away as fast as possible. Pops the consecration, and Clover is looking for a flank. Look at Clover. He's waiting in the bushes, waiting for this Claude to make a move, but unfortunately the Claude read the situation very well. He's just gonna recall in the bush, and EVOS Legends once again will just look for pressure before they try this turtle, Eterna.
Yes, I mean, this is a crazy match from minute number 1. I mean, so much action all over the board as Clover gets kind of chunked down here, but Adam still is able to escape. But of course, there's final blow coming from the side of Fairsick, but no real commitment on the side of EVOS as they seem to be rotating towards that turtle. Okay, they are already chunking that turtle down to half HP. So this will be the battle of the retributions. Mirko.
Yeah, Fairsick will be able to get that one as the Blazing Wet has been used to the backside. It will be Clover looking for a re-engage onto that Pigito, but unfortunately, no follow-up whatsoever. They are happy with the turtle, and they're just gonna take the top side turret as well. No over-commitments whatsoever from EVOS Legends, is playing this very smart, and Juan dealing so much damage with that poke damage, with the poke ability, my bad. And Fairsick is trying to invade the jungle using the final blow to the backside. Freeze is gonna be the target, going in with a Phantom Slash, but unfortunately does not get anything as Anti-Mage will be able to zone all these members away. Fairsick goes in for a 1v3 play. Hans gets taken very low as he jumps back in. The battle mirror image, and Hans, oh my god, that burst damage from Fairsick was almost disastrous. Clover just gets the falling Simon to the backside, will be able to get a kill. Now Juan trying to kite away from Renvi, will be able to do that, but Renvi goes in for the flicker, goes in for the kill as well. Juan kiting away, not going to be able to juke this one, I'm sure of it. Renvi, oh my god, almost gets the outplay, but Renvi finally gets the kill. Anti-Mage now in the mid lane, going on to D-line. There's not much he can do. He will shortly fall as he will pop the Brilliance of the Order. Anti-Mage will finally finish him off. A very good trade for the side of EVOS Legends, getting all the turrets and 3-for-1 in terms of kills here at Arashi.
Yeah, and throughout that fight, Clover actually has spent the majority of the time pushing on that bottom lane. So that was a great play from the side of EVOS, understanding how strong they are right now and how far they can push the side of GEEK Fam as much as possible. And again, Anti-Mage with that healing, it's a huge problem to deal with, Miracle.
Oh my god, look at that.
Huge problem, but I think he's gonna get a soul kill there. He's just gonna get soul killed, no problem whatsoever. Anti-Mage, maybe a little bit of over aggression here in the side of in the 9th minute, because again, Uranus not the type of guy who can withstand that much damage in the mid game. He usually goes crazy in the late game, right? He scales. So I don't know what he was doing there, especially against a Cloud with DHS. But Fiersic now looking for a kill onto Hans, using the final blow to the backside. Look at the damage! Oh my god! Hans just gets deleted from the game. Alt F4 just absolutely dismantled right there, Eterna.
Yes, I mean 10 minutes in, there's so much action going across the board. There are trades all over the map, but of course EVOS Legends is still the team that is able to secure more objectives. And it seems like this will be the first uncontested Lord, but of course this isn't yet an enhanced. But of course this buys them a lot of time just to push more objectives around the map and to create more space for the side of EVOS Legends, Mirko.
Absolutely, and all the pressure is on EVOS Legends' side. If they do siege this properly, it will be, I think, an inhibitor turret and that mid-tier 2 taken down. As we take a look at the items right now, Arashi.
As you can see, Fiersic actually has a healthy amount of damage already. Along with that, he does have the Brute Force Breastplate, so he is mobile and as tanky and deceptively tanky in these fights. He's been diving in and out to great success, and I feel like GEEK is a bit on the back foot here. They don't really know what to do with that. And so, again, Anti-Mage being very tanky as well, it's just looks like they're overwhelming the side of GEEK right now, Mirko.
Fiersic? Yeah, Fiersic goes into the backside. He's going to be able to do a lot of damage, but he will fall. No, he won't fall, but he will back away from that Lord right now. EVOS Legends takes the inhibitor turret and rotates towards this mid-tier 2, Eterna.
Yes, it seems like their eyes are on the prize as they really want to take this tier 2 turret. And it seems like another objective on the board for EVOS Legends as GEEK Fam seems to be... They are caged basically into their base. So much pressure, so much damage coming from the side of EVOS Legends. As look how much Anti-Mage is absorbing. But here we see Renvi going a bit aggressive towards 1, is still able to escape with the backup coming from Anti-Mage and Wrecked, Mirko.
Absolutely. EVOS Legends trying to freeze the wave as best as they can right here. Trying to manipulate the wave so that they can get another turret of affairs. It goes in onto Randy, uses the eye for an eye to back away. And that is just going to be a turret traded in the top side. And also the mid-tier 2 falling down. 8,000 gold lead, and if you can take a look at the player gold, Clover, Fiersic, and Juan topping the charts, but also Anti-Mage, and all the players of GEEK Fam in the bottom there in the player gold, Arashi.
Yeah, clearly because of the wave management, they are struggling for gold right now. EVOS are taking over the jungle from the side of GEEK Fam, as well as making sure that the waves are actually pushing very slowly and punishing anyone who overextends for these waves. So they are gaining a huge gold advantage just by playing the macro game.
Yeah, Frieza forced to flicker, and Fiersic now joins in the fight, using the final blow to the backside. Falling Star Moon connects, and Frieza gonna get taken down just like that. Last Insanity has been popped to try to deal. And look at that, the super minions are marching down the top side. Dylan's trying his best to clear the waves, but again, EVOS Legends just doing so good in this game, manipulating the waves and getting pressure all across the board. Final blow to the backside once again, but the Blaze of the Wet does not quite connect to anyone. Clover picks up an unstoppable, and it's going to be another kill. 4 for 0, a double kill for Clover, and the minions will march down. The base will be the target, and EVOS Legends will look to end the game right here. Last Insanity has been potted by a little bit of more time for GEEK Fam, and that will do it. EVOS Legends forced to back away for now, Eterna.
Yes, crazy. I thought they could end it right there and there, but it seems like they still have their eyes on that last turret as there's so much pressure here coming from Anti-Mage. Going into the backside, taking down Kagura down, and another member down here, but Renvi doing his best, trying to buy some time for his team. But of course, there are no minions at the moment, but it seems like the minions coming from the mid side are marching down. But of course here, Hans already up as well as Dylan. I think this will be enough pressure here coming from the side of EVOS, Mirko.
Yeah, blazing duet to the backside, trying to deal damage to Anti-Mage. He's gonna go back with the Battle Mirror image, but look at the damage coming in from Clover. Final blow to the backside, dealing a lot of damage and also clearing the wave in the process as EVOS Legends are just looking to end this game here, right now. Clover goes in for the Falling Star Moon, not able to do anything as he is forced back. Hans goes in for the kill, and look at that. The Winter's Truncheon comes in, but he'll finally be shut down by Hans. This is the late game we're talking about. Claude in the late game with items can start to deal a lot of damage, but will EVOS Legends be able to handle his damage? I think so. With a lot of sustain and a lot of healing coming in from their composition, I think Hans won't be able to do anything much here in the late game, even Rashi.
Yeah, and you can see there's a huge XP lead as well from the side of EVOS. So this, Fiersic barely survives that. But yes, GEEK is playing as from very behind in more ways than one. So they have to like try and play it really well. And unless they get a huge play, or if EVOS makes a huge mistake, there really isn't any easy play for them to take, Mirko.
Yeah, anti-mage. Look at the flank coming in. Frieza's gonna be the target. Blaze comes in, but look at Hans just dealing a lot of damage in the backside. The Lord will be taken away. No! Paquito gets it! And that's a play from GEEK fam. I thought EVOS got it, but now GEEK fam will just be obliterated off the map. EVOS Legends don't even care about the objectives. They're looking for kills. The trades come in, but in the end, it's a 2 for 2. It is going to be good for GEEK fam, but Hans in a 1v1 trying to kind of win. Anti-mage! Yes! With slight, a very, very little HP there, winning the 1v1 play against the jungler who is in the late game. The Lord will save them the game, though. Well played by Renvi, getting that clutch steal with Hans out of the way. How did he steal this? Take a look at the replay here, Eterna.
Yes, as we look at the replay, it seems like there was so much going on, and with that last insanity, Paquito had the space to take out that Lord under the nose of First Mirko.
Yes, that replay was brought to you by Samsung Galaxy A series. It seems that Last Insanity was able to get a pick off onto Fairsick, and they didn't have Retribution. They didn't have the burst, so Renvi, with the base damage, was just able to get that final hit on the Lord and secure it for his team, as now it is an enhanced Lord. It might be the moment to come back for the side of GEEK fam. Anti-Mage trying to buy some time, trying to just help the team clear this Lord, but again, there's so much damage from the side of GEEK fam right here, Eterna.
Yes, you're completely right here, as Juan is trying his best also to deal damage, but Falling Star Moon goes into the front line, but unfortunately it does not connect at this stage. Renvi and Adam trying their best to zone EVOS away, as it seems like they won't be picking this fight, but oh my god, first a final blow to the backside, and but he has to take down the Paquito, Mirko.
What was that play by Firsick? He went in and he went out. He baited the whole team. He got a kill in the process, and he zoned Hans away from the team fight, baiting so many resources, and in the end, winning the game for the team. This is why his Benedetta is so scary. Still, by the way, sitting at 100% win rate here in the MPL. Since Season 7 to Season 8, it seems that he's just going to keep on going right here. Final blow to the backside. Dylan's using the Blizzard in order to get away, but Last Insanity almost picks up Firsick as a kill. Clover will be able to get Dylan on the way. Anti-Mage dealing damage and also zoning Frieza away. Using the umbrella, going on a Yin Yang overturn, gonna get the immortal pop, but again, it is just the immortal. Firsick will be taken down as well, but it is just the immortal. 1-0 EVOS Legends. I do not like the Claude pick. I've said it so many times, and it still has, I don't know why they keep on taking this pick, because Hans as well, in the MDL, he likes playing Sun, he likes playing X-Rogue in the jungle. He has never played Claude in the MDL, so I'm not sure what they were going for here from the side of GEEK fam. But Arashi, this is your time. Take it away. Tell me what happened in that game.
Well, first of all, we did mention that the Paquito a huge amount of plays in the mid game, but then as always, I feel like this is a pattern that goes on. But EVOS always seems to have. They seems to always go for early aggression, but they always get punished for it a lot. And in this game, it might be part of their plan almost. We see Anti-Mage and everyone pushing at the same time, and although they do lose out on kills, they are able to secure objectives and they have a lot more pressure on the map, as we mentioned earlier multiple times, which is why even though they lose out on kills, they're still able to actually get,
Or, right, because they have quite a bit of dashes. Phoveus can be the answer for EVOS Legends, and for Anti-Mage who loves making crazy plays, it can come through. But if they want to try to go for a different route, they can move over this Esmeralda to the hands of Anti-Mage and put Clover on 1-1 for that late game presence as well.
Or Harith.
We will see right here, or Harith, but I think they have enough magic damage. I think if they do want to go for something, it will be the physical. Oh, the Season 3 Anti-Mage showing his fangs once again. He was the best timers in the world during Season 3, and he is going to show us how it's done once again here in the 8th season of the MPL Eterna.
Yes, you're completely right. But guys, we already have our official lineups here. All the good compositions are out and on the table. What do you guys think about the compositions from both teams? And who do you think can take this second game, Mirko?
I like EVOS Legends' composition. I really like what they're doing. I like what their composition is centered.
Has a lot more potential in the early game. I think overall I prefer EVOS, but GEEK fam has huge potential here, I think.
Okay, but let's get straight into the second game of the second match here in MPL Season 8, Week 2, Day number 2. EVOS Legends takes on GEEK Fam. Will EVOS Legends be able to get a clean sweep, or will GEEK Fam force a third game in the Series 1 here, going against Frieza in the lane? Renvi already trying to deal some amount of pressure here, trying to do some pressure onto the jungle, going in with the ejector, but unfortunately not able to do anything. Oh, almost actually so close to stealing that purple buff, but he will be chunked and he will be forced to recall in the first minute of the game.
Yes, EVOS anti-mage caught in a really bad situation here, 4v1, but will he be able to escape at this stage? So much pressure going on to anti-mage, and the ejector just doesn't connect, but it still will be first blood onto anti-mage. But this is something that we've seen a lot from anti-mage. He does get a lot of aggression, which was something that he did in the first game as well. But so far, guys, how do you think this is going, Mirko?
It's going really good right now for the side of GEEK Fam. Getting that kill onto Thamus will add on a little bit of pressure now. Ejector comes in and Frieza. Wow, that damage from Eudora once again. But Fairsick looking to go for a trade. Using a puncture, and the Phantom Execution is still available for him, but he decides to move backwards. Doesn't want to overcommit onto this kill, and he will just get the pressure in the mid lane with the help of Juan, rotating towards the top side to get his orange buff right now. Arashi, tell me what's going on in the game.
I think they spend a lot of time, and it's harder for Anti-Mage to do what he does earlier because Thamus isn't... he doesn't regen as much as say Uranus, so he doesn't cut in a sense as well, but at the same time he's pulling a lot of aggression coming in from GEEK Fam, which it's supposed to go to other members of his team. So in a way that's good, and here due to the play coming in from GEEK Fam, they're gonna go for the turtle here from the side of EVOS.
Yeah, absolutely. But now look at this. EVOS looking for a comeback. Joins in the team fight. GEEK Fam will be forced to move backwards. It will be the turtle taken away right here from the side of EVOS Legends. Again, very, very good positioning from the side of EVOS. Playing this very, very slowly. Doesn't want to commit over too much and doesn't want to move around the map too much, you know? All they need to do is play it in the lanes. They do not want to get this Eudora outside, because if they do, it will be very, very bad for them. Again, it will limit a lot of this pressure coming in. But Dylan now looking for a pick right now, going for the Jeet Kundo onto the backside. It will only land onto Rex. First it goes to the backside, Unified Execution, a lot of damage comes in, and he's gonna get the damage, and he's gonna get the kill. It will be Hans taken down with the Thorn Rose right there, 1-for-1. There's no trade in for the side of GEEK Fam right here, Eterna.
Yes, I mean, at the moment, GEEK Fam isn't looking too great. I guess they understood that in the previous situation where they decided to not contest that turtle, and I guess I understood how they're kind of lacking in early damage against EVOS Legends, especially the Eudora wasn't level 4 yet. Oh, but here we see Ejector going towards Rect, and Rect getting super low. There is backup coming from Dylan, and that Way of Dragon connects, and he will go down first. But as I was saying earlier, it wasn't a favorable trade in the hands of GEEK Fam because they tried to take down that gold shield at the bottom lane, which could have been an equal trade, but the backup coming from EVOS Legends and the communication coming from EVOS Legends was just too much for GEEK Fam, and they couldn't secure any objectives at that stage, Mirko.
Absolutely. EVOS Legends with the early game composition here. Dylan though getting a really good pick, and Anti-Mage once again, even though he got picked off in the early stages of the game, he is just not able to do anything now. Dylan goes in for the Way the Dragon. Clover is going to get picked off very, very low right there as he uses the Around the World. Not going to be able to get that kill, but a lot of turret gold has been secured by the side of GEEK Fam. Rek goes in for the bottom Koopa onto Renvi. Just getting a little bit of space here for Clover to farm in this 4th minute, but Thamus has rotated to this bottom side. The orange buff will be the target right now, and they're going to go in. Han's going to be the target. Thorgos comes in, and that's going to be a kill picked up for Fairsick. Looking for more on the way onto Renbi. The ejector comes in, but Fairsick will be able to run away with the help of the puncture right there, Eterna.
Yes, Fairsick just really knows when to go in and when to go out. This was something that we were discussing earlier. I mean, Fairsick with his assassins, his micro plays are just something that GEEK Fam really needs to take note, especially going into the draft phase. But here we see the items are up. Arashi.
Yep. War Axe for both Fairsick and Anti-Mage, making sure they do have that presence in the early game. I think Ejector was cancelled there, but Way of the Dragon's being used here, and there's gonna be a big combo, and Fairsick gets taken down, unfortunately, for the side of EVOS. And here, Anti-Mage is pressuring, but members of GEEK Fam are already on the way to his side, Mirko.
Absolutely, but EVOS Legends already playing the cross map very, very well here at Arashi and also Eternal, but they're gonna look for kill on to here. One goes in with a yin yang overturn, able to get one kill as Anti-Mage again is just unkillable, doing everything for his team in a 1v2 situation. Might look for an outplay, but Hans will be able to pick up a kill, but it is the tier 2 turret traded back onto that one. Dodges away from the ejector at the right timing right there, and the turret will be pushed on the bottom side. And what? One goes in for more. That is just not something you want to see from the side of Geek Fam. EVOS Legends is absolutely dominating. Now goes in for the way the dragon, but the instant purify from Rek. Did you see that? That was instant purify. You didn't even see the way the dragon popped, and he didn't even get kicked. He didn't even get knocked back. That was so well timed from Rek to be able to get out of that way dragon without anything popping right there, Rashi.
Yep. And the way things are, EVOS, again, with the heavy emphasis on getting objectives and map control. And here, Geek struggles because they have better picks, but whenever they use more than one person to find a pick on one of the members of EVOS, EVOS just retaliates by taking a tower. So overall, they're starting to lose the pressure on the map due to the objective focus that EVOS is taking to them, Athena.
Yes, you're completely right here. I mean, 7 minutes in and already look at that gold gap, almost 4K in difference. And it's just showing that EVOS Legends, like game number 1, is just so disciplined in the terms of objectives. And oh, look, Anti-Mage in a tight spot there is back up here from Clover and 1. And Anti-Mage still manages to get away, but Dylan, being the frontliner, will go down first as Hans gets super low, and I guess but she still escapes with her life. Miracle.
Oh no, one goes too aggressive and he's gonna get killed just like that. A double kill picked up for Hans, but Fairsick trades it again for an objective in the top side. Even though they're equal in kills, it is still a 2,000 gold lead for the side of EVOS Legends. Thamus, Anti-Mage bought a lot of time in the end, but again, Clover and 1, maybe a little bit of overcommitment right there, as they were not able to calculate the amount of damage Hans will do, and Hans getting away with two kills right there, and even a shutdown for 1. A lot of gold has been put into the pockets of 1 right there, Eternal.
Yes, that was crazy stuff coming from both teams actually. But look how look at the jukes coming in from Fairsick as Yin Yang Overturn connects, and so much damage, so much burst coming from 1 as Dylan, as the frontliner, must retreat at this stage. So this is something that we also really need to take into consideration. I mean, the burst damage coming from 1 won't make it really easy for Geek Fam to try to pick her off, especially there's backup coming from Fairsick and the other members. And looking at the item builds, Arashi.
Right, 1 with the Clock of Destiny, Lightning Transient combo, extra mana, extra burst, more threat for the side of Geek Fam to deal with. Anti-Mage with the Bloodlust Axe is gonna be even more tanky, and as is, it's really hard to kill him. It's gonna be even harder with this Bloodlust Axe completed for him in the situation.
Oh my god, Fairsick.
Oh, yeah, okay. The turret just gets taken down right there as X-Borg Adam is still able to run away, but now Renvi's gonna be the target. Yang Overturn will be popped right there in the Phantom Execution to finish him off, and my goodness, the amount of damage. They are able to one-shot a tank with no hesitation, and that was just beautiful played. That was beautifully played by 1, getting that vision onto Jawhead, and instantly the follow from Fairsick as well. Very well calculated and very good communication from EVOS Legends. Now sitting at a 3,000 gold lead, a very comfortable lead. So all they need to do again is just play disciplinedly and wait for this Lord to come up before they can look for a siege right here, a turn.
Yes, it seems like Lord will spawn in under 5 seconds, and it seems like EVOS Legends are already rotating and sitting comfortably in that area to open vision for his teammates. But Geek Adam here is kind of in a tough spot, being really pressured by, oh my god, that combo coming in from Frizz takes 1 so early, Miracle.
Yeah, I mean, Clover will be the target right now. Adam trying to burn him away, but Clover will be able to get away, and the Lord will be the target for EVOS Legends, although they've been doing all that and getting 1. The main objective, again, every time you trade something, every time you get a kill, EVOS Legends will just trade it back. Now Thamus goes in the middle, so in the middle of everything, but using the Vengeance to get out of that sticky situation. Dylan trying to chase away. Clover using the Falling Star, we're not going to be able to connect as Renvi looking for the ejector. Phantom Execution comes in, and the Thorn Rose to finish him off. It will be Fairsick picking up a kill right there, right now. 1 for 1, and EVOS gets the Lord. So again, it is just a clean game for EVOS Legends, trading kills for objectives and securing a 5,000 gold lead in the 10th minute right here, Arashi.
Right, and Clover immediately goes towards the bot lane, knowing that it's not pushed out yet, making sure that all lanes crash together at the same time, making sure that GEEK fam can't stick together and can't get that combo burst potential, Mirko.
Oh my god.
The Lord is marching down Arashi right here into the base. Last Insanity has been popped to the backside, but it will not connect to anyone except for the Lord. It will deal a lot of damage, but Adam gets chunked very low. He's gonna get taken very, very low. His Clover will be taken down as well. A 1-for-1, an amazing ejector. To find that ejector in the midst of everything was very, very impressive. Renvi with the amazing target selection right here in the 10th minute. EVOS Legends were not able to get a single turret in that siege, Eterna.
Yes, and definitely the damage output and burst coming from Freeze is also very impactful in that previous game. Because, like I said, although her range is crazy short, but with the help and the backup coming from Renvi, it eases her ability to create damage output and magic damage onto EVOS Legends. But here we see the damage dealt coming from Juan is the top on the board. And we've seen it over and over so many times that this Kagura can output so much magic damage. Kind of real close here coming from Freeze as well. And this is something that I think both teams need to take into consideration, especially going into the items, Mirko.
Absolutely. Now we take a look at the damage taken charged right there, presented to you by, actually, wait a minute, EVOS Legends looking for a pick off onto Adam, but maybe it's the wrong target right there, as he is very, very tanky. EVOS will be able to get that purple buff, and they're just caging their enemies in right here. With the 5,000 gold lead, they're not trying to push anymore. They're just going to freeze the waves and wait for the objectives to come to them right here, Eternal.
Yes, you're completely right. It seems like all of them are trying to freeze the lanes, trying to lure GEEK fam out, because they know that if they do take the risk of going out, they might be able to get picked off. But Hans was able to clear that wave untouched here, Mirko.
Absolutely. And now it will be GEEK fam as well. Just they're playing fully defensively. They're just turtling in their base, because again, there's nothing they can do at this point to come back except for wait for an opportunity in a team fight, right? Because their composition is so heavily favored for a team fight. They need to go for these picks and the team fights, because if not, I think EVOS Legends will be able to 100% freeze the waves just like this. Look at that, not getting any gold whatsoever or XP. Everyone with a level lead and also a gold lead. It's just horrible right now as we take a look at the items, Rashi.
The Clover already building up the Calamity Reaver and a Brute Force Breastplate, itemizing against the multitude of the physical damage coming in from the side of GEEK fam. Here we see that Hans actually has quite the decent few items, but he is forced to build the Wind of Nature just because of the burst potential coming in from Fairsick. Clearly something to respect from that situation, but here EVOS seems to be going for a play, Mirko.
Absolutely. EVOS Legends in the midst of everything. Anti-Mage going in. A lot of damage has been put onto Renvi. Oh my god! It gets onto 3 members, and that's going to be Anti-Mage going to the backside, dealing a lot of damage. He uses the Vengeance to get all the damage in the world. Double kill. Picks up for Anti-Mage, and he lives. But not for long. Last Insanity comes in, and he will still be able to get out of that one. Phantom to the front side for Rose. They use the kill streak picks up, looking for more, and that is just a 4-for-0 trade for the side of EVOS Legends. Absolutely destroying GEEK fam in the
About to say, maybe with the space they will rotate towards that Lord just for extra safety, but Last Insanity will be popped here in the front line of EVOS Legends, but no damage has been taken by the side of EVOS Legends, and it seems like, knowing that there will be some difficulty, especially since Hans is already up and has already spawned, they are rotating towards that Lord area, then this might be an uncontested Lord here, which will be an enhanced Lord. So this might be the final push for EVOS Legends, and GEEK fam really needs to, I don't know, what should they do, Arashi?
Well, GEEK fam needs to make sure they kind of get the priority targets on the side of EVOS Legends and maybe save the Ejector or the Unstoppable Force to try and deal with Fairsick, because earlier a lot of the stuff actually landed on Anti-Mage and he pops that Vengeance and ends up doing quite a fair bit of damage. So that was huge for him in that fight. So if they maybe avoid pouring on all their skills into the tank, which is Anti-Mage, they might actually get more success. But the issue is, EVOS doesn't want to let them do that. They always position themselves perfectly behind Anti-Mage, and then once they see a situation where they know they can get this fight, they know they can get the advantage, that's where they pull the trigger, and Fairsick and Juan just go ham, diving into the members of GEEK fam, especially knowing that Hans is a marksman. He really doesn't last that long, and even though he has the Wind of Nature now, Juan is still able to one-shot him, and that's because that's that is an optimization towards the physical damage, Mirko.
Absolutely. This is going to be the Enhanced Lord charging down. Inhibitor turret number 1 will fall down as they're going to push into the mid inhibitor as well. It will be one trying to siege the turret, and that is going to be the bottom side as well. Pressured. Geek fam are caged in, and there's nothing they can do. Ferristic trying to deal some damage, poke them around, but it will be the second inhibitor turret falling down in the mid lane. Clover with the last wave in the bottom lane will be able to secure that third and final inhibitor turret as now Geek fam are on full defense mode, going in with the last insanity, trying to deal damage as Ferristic goes in as well, trying to go and poke freeze it down. Anti-Mage, look at the way the dragon onto Anti-Mage, with Venge is still able to live again and again. Anti-Mage is just insane. Ferristic's immortality has been popped, but the stun does not quite connect. He's gonna get shut down, but look at the damage. Rekt is focusing the base right now. The Popol and Koopa will finally fall, and Anti-Mage still able to dodge away from the last insanity. Rekt will not be able to. He'll be taken down, and in the end, EVOS Legends, Geek fam, managed to survive another day here, Eterna.
Yes, managed to survive another day, and with a favorable trade here, Mirko, as only one person was caught out in that disadvantage. Oh, but here Ejector comes onto Anti-Mage as Anti-Mage is struggling to escape. Oh, another Ejector that connects, and there is some backup here coming from Frizz, and I think that will be the end of Anti-Mage really, really early on, and this isn't looking quite good because Geek fam might be able to use this opportunity to turn back the tables as Ejector connects yet again onto one, and another member from EVOS Legends will have to get picked off, Mirko.
Yes, has to get picked off, and Geek fam might look for the turnaround right here, as that is going to be a lot of damage put into it. Even 5,000 gold lead. Again, when we get into the late game, 5,000 gold lead will not matter because everyone will have full items by the time last insanity zone everyone away from the turrets. The inhibitor turret will shortly fall. Rekt trying to do some damage, trying to use the Bite Koopa to get some damage in, and Clover has the falling Star Moon. Will he choose to go in? Renvi goes in with a fire ejector, but Ferristic! What was that? He goes in and goes out, buys a lot of time for his team, and these are the times where Clover can go in. This is the time where he can go for a flank maneuver right here onto Renvi, dealing the damage. Immortal has been popped, and Ferristic will be able to secure this kill for himself. No, Clover gets it in the end, but EVOS Legends defend and now are turning the tables around, Eterna.
Yes, this seemed like, oh my god, that play from Ferristic got so much time and wasted so many resources on the side of Geek fam that they were able to gain the space that they needed back again, even though they did have quite a difficulty in the previous team fight. And EVOS Legends, look at this pressure that they're dealing on towards Geek fam, and yet again, they are caging Geek fam into the base, Mirko.
Yeah, once again, this is going to be very, very hard for EVOS Legends because they don't have a lot of wave clear compared. They both have equal amounts of wave clear. That's what I want to say, because Xborg is so good at clearing waves with his AoE damage. So is Dylan with this show. But EVOS Legends, if they just keep on doing this, sooner or later the base will fall. This is the third Enhanced Lord for the side of EVOS Legends, Eterna.
Yes, and I'm quite worried with Hans being the jungler here on the side of Geek fam because, but here we see so much pressure on towards Rekt. Rekt trying to build pressure, trying to make sure that Geek fam will not take this turtle, but I think they might change their attentions elsewhere, Mirko.
Too much sustain for EVOS Legends. Look at Frieza! He's just gonna get obliterated right there. Trying to run away with 1 HP. Anti-Mage on the chase right now. It will be Ferristic picking up the kill with the bloody retribution, with the flame retribution, my bad. As Clover goes in with the falling Star Moon all the way to the backside. Gonna be able to do a lot of damage. And the execution comes in as well. It is a Thorn Rose to finally finish off the kill. It is 2 for 0. The Lord doesn't matter. Dylan's next. He'll be taken down. And the base will fall 2-0 to EVOS Legends in the second game. A clean sweep for the Blue Tigers here, Arashi.
Yeah, that was a great play towards the end because there was almost like a rally, like a back and forth coming in from both teams. They both tried to rush to end the game without going for the other objectives potentially, but they both didn't really find much success with that. It's such an obviously. When your guy wins, it's always fun. But yep, speaking was playing for objectives obviously, and that was the big turning, almost like the big moment in the beginning, because it seems like Geek fam was trying so hard to get pickoffs, right? But Anti-Mage again was on the Thanos, cutting waves almost instantly, almost immediately. And the issue is Geek fam has a lot of CC, a lot of stun, a lot of catch potential. But instead of being afraid of the catch potential from Geek fam, EVOS can kind of take it easy almost, because they know like the majority of this attention is being taken by Anti-Mage. So instead of being afraid all over the map because of the unknown pick potential that GEEK has, they can rest easy knowing that Anti-Mage is the one taking the brunt of